7 touchdowns and 400 yards last night.
Jesus Christ.
So I actually survived that Haskins.
Damn.
Yeah, dude.
What's the chances of that?
Astronomically low.
Yes.
It was insane. I was like, I need this guy to have the greatest day of his entire career, or I'm screwed. And he did.
Yeah. That is wild.
Definitely, man.
Alrighty, so we are live. We are working to let everyone know we are multi-streaming between YouTube and Periscope right now. It's saying that it's sending the stuff. I'm hoping it's all out there. I have the chat going here. Let me just pull this thing down. If you can hear us, if you're getting everything, just let us know that it's working and that and what you're coming from. Are you seeing us on Periscope? Are you seeing us on YouTube? Whatever.
Periscope's working.
Okay, cool. Yep. So, and I've got the chat, and you can see the chat in the stream now. It is apparently working on getting to YouTube. It might be a post view on YouTube. They might just, I don't know. I'll figure that shit out.
Yeah, I'm not seeing YouTube.
Yep. So let's see here. First off, what do we want to do? Just jump right into questions here?
How many you got? If you only got a couple, we could sit here and chit-chat for a second.
Yeah, that works. I got one right now from IDP Ranger that we can sit on for a second. Chess 1200 just said morning. So.
Good morning, Chess 1200.
Morning, Chess. Man, we're gonna have to get you your own little spot on here, man. Appreciate you always joining in. It's always cool to see you on here.
Yep, we got FF Stompy in the house.
Nice.
Yeah,
hey,
cool.
So real quick for everyone out there, if you need a linebacker today and a Darius Taylor's available, Justin Evans, gone. Levante David, gone. Quan Alexander, gone. Someone's got to make those tackles today against Saquon.
Yeah, and I 100% agree. Don't mean to cut you off, John. Sorry. I think we might be on a little bit of delay. My crap net's all screwy as usual. But Bond, he'll probably see a big uptick. He'll probably, him and Taylor will probably be the two guys.
Right. You think Bond will be at weak side today, or is he going to stay where he normally is?
It wouldn't surprise me if they just kind of slotted one spot over and Taylor or whatever his name is goes weak side, and then you have Bond in the middle.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of injuries for the Bucs this week, and we know the Giants are going to run Saquon a million times. So.
Yep, and then with Justin Evans out, I would hope to think that Jordan Whitehead is in play again too. So there's a deep reach.
Yep.
And then you mentioning them, Okaloon for Falcons. I thought that when I did my charts earlier in the week, it looked like Dion would probably play this weekend. Yeah. So they ended up sitting him.
Right.
And, considering I know it didn't go well last week, but I've actually got Okaloon in on my Deep League. And, I mean, the matchup with the Cowboys is just primed again, just like last week. And he got 84. Okaloon got 84% of the snaps, more than even Campbell did. Campbell got 81. If anybody checked out that live, Riley dropped.
Oh, like a rock. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like 36 or something.
Yeah.
But did you see his special teams?
No, he was.
They vaulted, dude. They vaulted from like 40 to 95% or some shit.
Oh, wow.
I tried to explain that in that live. To me, when you see a player vault like that in special teams and then dive down on defensive, especially if it happens again this week, they're done with him.
Yeah,
they're no longer worried that he gets hurt.
Right. But yeah, I like that matchup a lot too. Cowboys can't pass the ball long, so it's short to intermediate range passes and a ton of Zeke. So that's perfect.
Yep. I'll tell you, I watched that game film. I watched even more of it after I did the live, and I swear to God, this sounds stupid, but the only reason I think that Campbell and actually got a lot of the production last week is I almost think that there was a game scheme to go his way. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it just seemed, I don't know if it was luck or what. I'm not saying they're avoiding Okaloon. They avoided him last week, but I sure as the hell think they was scheming towards Campbell.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, a lot of injuries this week, man. Buda Baker, Justin Evans, Levante
Yep.
David,
Yep.
not great.
Yep. Yeah, I had a question earlier that, and I know I just traded. I gave you Jordan Whitehead and Vontae Maddox, which I still love as futures, but we're getting ready for this playoff run, and I'm going to gamble on Adrian Phillips after Perriman went down. I really think that we have a chance to see Phillips continue his 80% of the snap counts. I was reading, they actually, even the coach or the DC, I can't remember which one it was, actually said not only are they using him in weak side linebacker position, but they actually had him in a middle linebacker, even with Perriman, during sub packages.
Yeah. What do you think's going to happen with Hayes Pullard this week on the Chargers with the Perryman injury?
I think he's going to be dropped in and screw all the regular linebackers for the Chargers.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be ugly. I think it's a whole situation. Everybody wants Jatavius Brown to do this. Yeah, I do too. I like the kid, but there is no way that I could trust. I've got Phillips in because I trust that they'll still use Phillips. As for the linebackers, I mean, they were talking about using that Emmanuel, moving him into the middle that usually plays the strong side. It's just crazy.
Nice.
So what do we got? Got some questions?
Yeah, let's kick it off with the questions here. IDP Ranger asks Okaloon versus Dallas today, or Barron versus Kansas City tomorrow.
Sorry, one more time.
I'm going Okaloon.
Okaloon, and who's the other one? Barron.
Barron.
Yeah, I hate Barron. He's an asshole.
Yeah.
He doesn't play.
What?
He doesn't. He doesn't play when it's cold out. He's inconsistent. He's messing with everyone else's production. Like, he just needs to go away.
That sucks. I'm sitting on him. I'm playing him this week. I tried to actually trade his ass off, and it's not because I don't. It's not that I don't like him. But heading into the playoffs, I was knowing that Littleton is sitting there, and then you got John Johnson, a strong safety.
Yeah.
I was hoping to move Barron for the fact that I was looking for a little bit more consistency.
Right.
But I can just feel your love coming through the mic there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was doing the same thing you were. I was sitting on him all year, and he finally got healthy, and he got in there, and he had a decent first week. And I was like, all right, one of my linebacker problems are solved. And then the next game, his snaps dropped to like, I don't know, 60 or 40%. It was a lot. And I was like, what the hell happened here? Because he only had like one tackle assist. And then I read the story that he doesn't play when it's cold out because of his hamstring injury, and he's more likely to re-aggravate it in colder weather. So.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, you could have dropped that dime my way, man. I missed that one.
Yeah, I might have complained about it on Twitter.
But you think I follow you, man?
Good point. Good point. But yeah, I mean, it's in the middle of November. I mean, this week they're playing in Los Angeles, but if he goes anywhere cold, you can't rely on him. It's ridiculous. Right. Like, that's something you don't want to have to think about. Like, that's so stupid.
Right. Alrighty. So let's go with the next question here. Mountum. I don't know if he's talking about guys or girls, but bench one, Ioannidis, Bosa, Hayward, Casey. Thanks.
So we're benching one, playing two.
That's 4 people, so 3.
Playing 3.
Yeah.
Well, Bosa, they said he is going to play today. They're going to see how he feels. I think even some Bosa is better than no Bosa. I'll take that. The rest I don't really have an opinion about. I didn't hear anyone that really struck my fancy. What do you think, Gary?
Okay, so we got Casey with the Titans. He's got a solid matchup.
Oh, sorry, Jarrell.
Uh,
Yes, he's great. Yes, play him.
yeah, so I could see why we would still keep him in. And then, I mean, when it comes to Boza, it's his first game back, and I understand. What was the other options?
Hayward and Ioannidis.
Mm.
Mm,
I actually
give
do.
me Ioannidis. That's the Washington guy, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, I can. Look
Okay, give me him. And yeah, good. Hayward has just fell off the map. So yeah, Boza, Carell or Casey or whatever his name is, and the Washington dude.
Sounds good. I got Whitehead, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, TB, Tampa Bay. So I'm guessing Jordan Whitehead out of Tampa Bay, right? And then question marks. Is that a question, I'm guessing?
It has to be because Tampa Bay, yeah, because the only other Whitehead would be even presumed would be the Oakland guy, and he's playing the Cards. So I mean, realistically, if you're reaching for one, I mean, it's a positive. It's kind of a positive. I think that the Giants personally, I think that they try to demonstrate that they do have a solid passing game other than checking down to Barkley every other throw. So the Buccaneers secondary is just struggling with all this youth on it and stuff. And I mean, with Evans out, I don't see how Jordan doesn't get a full complement of snaps. So, I mean, you could do worse by not playing him.
Right.
All right. And we got FF Stompy here. What about Trey Boston with Buddha out?
I would be all about that, but Oakland. I mean, Sam, you know what Oakland's offense looks like. It's horrible. It's dog shit. They're not gonna run enough plays probably to make an effective IDP game for the Cardinals today, which is unfortunate. But I think that's how it's gonna go. I mean, Trey Boston's in theory a great option, but if you have a better matchup somewhere, I'd go with that. What do you think, Gary?
Same thing. And I mean, realistically, I don't think Buddha being out changes Boston's role in the defense. If anybody's role changes, it will be Bethia's. Or maybe one of the backups. So yeah, I agree 100%. You know, I mean, you could do worse. Again, I almost would go Jordan Whitehead for the upside on that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Here we go. IDP Ranger, Snacks Harrison versus Carolina, or Fletcher Cox versus New Orleans.
I like Harrison there. Yeah, Cox is a great defensive tackle also. But New Orleans can beat you both ways, whereas Carolina is going to try and pound the ball a lot with McCaffrey, and they'll probably run it with Newton too. There's going to be a lot of easy run stopping going on there for Harrison, and he's been lights out since he's hit the Lions. He's had 3 great games. His snap percent is up like 10% each week now. He's getting more 4-down lineman sets, which he does a lot better in. I think Harrison's a slam dunk this week with the amount of McCaffrey we're going to see. What do you think, Gary?
Well, I mean, I seen he was questionable, but yeah.
Yes, assuming he plays, right. Yeah.
Right. I 100% agree. And when it comes to Fletcher, when it comes to Cox, I mean, I don't like this matchup so well because for him personally, because it's like the Saints usually find a way. If you've got somebody that's threatening on that defensive line, it's going to threaten the run game or Breeze. I mean, they find a way to make sure they eliminate him a little bit, you know. So yeah, definitely Smacks. If he's in, you got to roll with him.
Nice. Alrighty. FF Stompy here with Trey Boston or Clinton Dix.
Redskins are playing who this week?
I'll just say it now. I'll go.
Yeah, he's been lights out since he's hit the Redskins.
They're playing the Texans.
Oh, sure, yeah. Definitely, in that case, yep.
Yeah, and they moved him up. He's playing strong safety, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was Nicholson that took the hit and not Swearinger. So, and the way they sub in and out, I think that the reason they acquired him personally is because for whatever fucking reason, they don't want to use Zach Brown every down, even though he's fucking like a speed demon.
Yeah.
So either way, I think that's why they was trying to replace Nicholson and the other Harvey Clemens or whatever, that other linebacker for Brown wasn't getting it done. So I think that's exactly why they went and made the trade for Haha. So yeah, definitely Haha.
Yeah, and Swearinger's playing time hasn't been affected, but his production has really dropped in the last couple of weeks. So.
Right, because it's not getting past Haha.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Right. Yep.
Alrighty, so this is from Agizi 182. Agizi, is Anthony Hitchens gonna get normal reps this week?
As far as I know. I don't work for the Chiefs.
Yeah, talk to the coach.
Yeah, if you got another option, man. I mean, they were, it was a few weeks ago. They were already taking him out of some sub packages.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing coming out of camp saying what they're going to do this game. So, I mean, if you have a better option, you might want to look at it.
Right. He's been trending down, yes. And the thing is, this is a fucking great matchup if he plays a lot of snaps and plays and you know he's going to play. But it's a Monday night game, so if you are going to go this route and Reggie Ragland's out there, grab him just in case. And if they say something 10 minutes before the game, you can switch him out. But it is a big risk, but with the amount of Todd Gurley we're going to see, that seems like such a good.
Did the Chiefs
good matchup?
Did the Chiefs blow somebody out last week?
They beat the Cardinals, but only by like 10 or 12 or something.
Because there's a rookie that actually got a nice jump in some percentages. I want to say Neiman, or maybe it was Neiman.
I don't know.
I can't really go through and find it real quick. I wish I had that kid's name, but there is definitely, the reason I'm bringing him up is he was like a standout during the preseason, and all of a sudden last week he got some playing time, and I couldn't remember if it was because it was a blowout or not. So there's another threat.
Yeah.
And you have Sorensen back in, and they can't stop using Sorensen for some reason. So
right. And they proved last week that they're fully capable of screwing you over too. They said he was active and good to go, and then he just didn't play at all. Like that's not great.
Yep, sit on the bench as a backup.
Yep. Yeah.
Cool. Let's see. FF Stompy. I'm trying to figure out if I should drop Williamson for a safety. That must be Avery Williamson.
Oh hell no.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's a interesting question. All right.
Yeah, and then I looked, especially if you're in a playoff run. I'm pretty sure that I might not actually hit on it in my linebackers for the playoffs because I was trying to avoid the known guys. I was trying to hit some lower, like bottom tier fellas. But if I remember right, I looked at the Jets, and he's going to be a gold mine of production for the rest of the season. So don't drop him.
Yeah.
You won't get him back.
So speaking of the player you were talking about earlier, DTS12 said they saw him being discussed on Twitter. Player isn't even on the ESPN player list. So you were talking about that. Was it Chiefs player?
Yeah. I'm gonna gamble here for a minute. So if I lose you, I don't think I will. I'm actually on two different internets. But let me. Oh no, there's no way. I'll tell you what. You guys got access to the show?
Oh, to the show? Yeah, I do. What do you want me to look up?
Go look on the Chargers linebacker. I actually was eyeballing him as a last minute bid, but he jumped on him, and at the time I didn't outbid him. Kansas City kid.
Chargers.
But I actually like him. He had a lot of positive shit coming out of KC about him. He just hasn't, but all of a sudden he's just got some playing time, and there was no rhyme or reason if they weren't playing in a blowout. So
Ben Neiman, Niemann rookie.
Yep. Yeah. That's definitely a kid to keep an eye on for next year because I think they really overpaid Hitchens. I couldn't believe he was Did you know that he was the highest paid free agent linebacker this year?
Oh, Hitchens?
Yeah, and he got paid like, oh my God, he got paid like he's a top 10 guy.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason he didn't work out in Dallas.
Mm. Yeah, Neiman had a good week last week. I'm looking at his points here.
Yep.
Yeah, IDP Ranger says Neiman started in place of Hitchens last week.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So with that, let's move on to Astrolube FC. Sean Williams or Malcolm Jenkins?
Sean Williams. I like Jenkins definitely this week. I've got him as a tier 1 guy this week. With that Saints matchup, that's like perfect for him. Yeah, and Williams has been great, but he's not nearly as consistent as Bates next to him. He's had some really great games, but he's been spotty. Whereas Jenkins has a guaranteed floor every single week, and I think this week the matchup is right for like a really big game.
Yes. How's that?
Yeah, sorry,
I agree with you 100%, John.
Beautiful. I had cat hair all over me. Sorry about that.
I was wondering why you're freaking out. I was like, is he waving me down? Am I supposed to be saying something right now?
No.
Let's go. Let's see.
All right. Let's see. So, are we ready for the next question?
Sure.
Gotcha. So, Chess 1200, Whitehead, Tampa Bay, or Maddox in Philly?
Whitehead.
Go ahead, John, if you want.
Yeah, Maddox in Philly. Isn't he the guy that when Corey Graham was injured, he got in a little bit?
Okay, he's the guy I just traded to you that I wrote futures on, so I know him well if you want me to.
No, go ahead. You got this.
Okay, so I actually so the kid's been getting 100% of the snaps for like 5 weeks. They've fallen in love with him. The only thing, and he actually had a good matchup last week. The only thing that hasn't happened is it's not translated into production for IDP yet. With that being said, he actually has a nice matchup this week. I figure that in the end, the second half of the Saints-Eagles game is going to be some type of long ball contest. So, but I mean, in general, if I have to, because Jordan Whitehead has actually shown more with less snaps. And with Evans out, I don't see how he's not going to get a hell of a lot of snaps. So,
yeah. And
I like that matchup better, considering the linebackers in front of him. Vinny Curry is out. Carl Nassib I really like him going into this game too, but I mean, he is still not, top tier material. So just how beat up the Tampa Bay is, there should be a lot of slop going on, and I think the Giants are just going to sling the ball, and Jordan should be in position to make a lot of plays. A lot of cleanup.
Yep, works for me.
Cool. So that pretty much wraps up what we have on the board for questions. I put out a call for questions in the chat, so if you all have start-sit questions, we're here to answer them. Keep us talking so we don't end up talking about our own fantasy teams or Red Dead Redemption or who knows what could come up.
Well, I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be back.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Coffee break.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I might do that myself after you get back. Quick pause for commercials here. Make sure you're checking us out online. We have a website, a podcast, idpguys.org. You can go on there. We have been pumping out the content since we started back in June. We got weekly stuff to help you set your lineups, get your waiver wires in. John puts in probably 50,000 words a week.
Easy.
Just going through every single game, pretty much every single player out there that's relevant, how they did, and if they're trending up or down.
We try and make sure that you get the next stud before it happens. Like Darius Leonard, we were on top of. Eric Reed on top of. Basically, name a guy between Gary, me, the rest of the team. Someone's gonna know about it before it happens. I did the math a few weeks back. We've got over 100 years of combined IDP knowledge just on this team right here, and probably 30-something, which is me and Gary.
Yeah.
So, it's never any bullshit. We always shoot you straight. Mm-hmm. There's never a paywall. We're always transparent, we always say when we're wrong because we're not perfect.
If anyone tells you they're perfect on
Yeah.
on Twitter, then
They're full of shit.
Yeah, they're full of shit.
Yeah, I've been like 70% for the whole year, which isn't bad. But we're reachable. We're transparent. We try and be completely real with you guys.
Yeah, if you hit us up with a message, I'll see it. I mean, it goes straight to my phone, and I'll answer it, or I'll send it to someone with better info than I do to answer it. Usually, when we get tagged in tweets and stuff, questions, I'll just throw it into our chat, and then the writers just jump in. So you're getting the best information all the time. And with all of that, if you want to help support us, help us upgrade our equipment, so we can give you a better show, a better product, patreon.com/IDP guys. You can donate there. It goes straight into the show, helping. We have to pay for server fees and stuff like that. Equipment, it's not cheap. We love to do this. That's why we do it. And if you wish to help us, IDP guys, or patreon.com/IDP guys, when you donate, we have a lot of different levels of perks that you can receive. Some of that is getting into a Discord channel where you have even more access to us. And we use that as kind of like an idea bounce. So if you have ideas for the show, you can let us know there, as well as, free t-shirts. And next year we're going to be starting a huge, fantasy football tournament. So it gets you access to all that stuff. But definitely be checking out and using our website, idpguys.org. There's always great stuff. We got a great team of writers. Like John says, over 100 years of experience. Most of these guys have been playing IDP since you had to use pen and paper to count your scores. So Gary knows, I'm sure.
Yeah, I just realized what a damn computer was used for, other than just filling out lineups just recently, like within the last 2 years. I mean, really. So, yeah, pen and paper. I still use pen and paper.
But
that's still, and I sat down and I think I caught the tail end of what you guys were saying before we started talking about the patronage and all that. I'll tell you, and that's one reason I love being a part of the IDP guys, is because, as a lot of you might know, is I believe in the no bullshit content to begin with. And when you have a group like we have on the IDP guys, everybody's kind of got their own niche of what they're watching and who they're going on, so they know the information to give you the answer. And we have a great cast of writers. So when we have this, what the advantage on this over some of these other sites that only have one guy or maybe two, all right, is there's no bullshit content. Because what happens is when you have one guy, you can't tell me out of 32 fucking teams that everybody specializes in everything that they know that you ask. And they will bullshit you because they are not going to fucking tell you that they don't know.
Yep.
Here at IDP guys, it's real easy. We just tag one of our other guys because we know what everybody is kind of
what they're doing
on, and you can get the right answer. It's a win-win situation coming to IDP guys for your information.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I was just saying, with God, how long we've been playing. When did you start IDP? I remember it was,
oh my God,
a while back, right?
Yeah, early 2000s.
Yeah, same with me.
Something like that.
Yeah.
When it was like using a kicker.
Right.
Yeah. John, I don't know about you, but you still get the questions where some of these leagues are still just using one or two.
Yes. And whenever that comes across, I'm always like, man, you got to just jump in, both feet, because there's no point in just having one,
especially standard size league. It's like everybody, it's just like a kicker. Yeah. Everybody's got one. Everybody's got a stud. So
right.
And then when you get a question that, okay, well, how about, will I play Joey Bosa or will I play Kuechly? Okay, for one thing, the hair that you're splitting is so close, it doesn't matter. Just put your guy in.
Right. Yep.
your points are going to be so damn close, more than likely, that it's not going to matter. It doesn't matter. So yeah, you guys got to really think about diving into some really deep shit. Go full on complement leagues with the IDP. It is, if especially if you've been doing PPR for a while and you've mastered the offense side of the ball. You know, the IDP, man, it's just like a brand new game for that first couple of years until you get it going and get it figured out.
Yeah, definitely, man. I got Phil Rutherford on Twitter. I know he follows you too. Just sent me a question if you want to field this guy real quick. So
Sure.
he said, "Hey, what do you think about Jordan Evans today with Brown and Vigil already? Oh, Preston Brown's out. Holy shit!
Yep.
No.
Yep. He sure is. I seen that a couple days ago.
Wow. All right. So say Perfect does play. Would you play Evans today? How would you feel about that?
Oh yeah, I'd still go Evans. I mean, with Preston and Vigil out, Jordan Evans is going to be. He should be the guy by default to get most of the snaps. It wouldn't surprise me if he outsnapped Perfect for the fact that Perfect's been banged up, hurt, struggled when he has played. I think if you've got him and you're in that situation, I wouldn't worry about it. I'd put him in there.
Yeah. Who do they got this week? Cincinnati's.
Baltimore.
Okay, and Baltimore will run a lot, so that'll be ideal.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. Cool. Cool.
Right. So we got inactive starting to come in, so I'm going to start inputting that. You guys will see it at the bottom of the screen. Apparently, we're done pulling our PUD, talking about how great we are and all that stuff. One last thing I want to jump in and throw is that if you do want to support us, but you don't want to do the monthly donation that Patreon is, we have merchandise on the website, idpguys.org. And I just updated a bunch of new shirts and stuff. And now you can actually get this hoodie that I have been sporting for about a month now. And a few people have asked about it. But it's the new official IDP Guys hoodie. It's all on there. You can just purchase something, and all that money rolls right into the website. So definitely check it out. But with that, let's get back into these questions. DTS 12 asks, digging deep at linebacker, thoughts on Alex Anzalone, linebacker, New Orleans.
I know what I'd say. No, thank you. But I mean, it depends how deep we're looking here. Like if you're starting 3-4 linebackers, you got a bunch of guys on bye this week or a bunch of injuries, then it's not the worst roll of the dice in the world. The Eagles are defending Super Bowl champions. They should theoretically be able to hang with New Orleans for at least a couple quarters and, run enough offense to I mean, I don't know. Demario Davis hasn't really impressed me lately either, so that in my eyes, there's just as much odds of Anzalone having a decent day as Davis. What do you think, though, Gary?
Well, I actually talked about him a little bit, and he is making an impression for the last 2 to 3 weeks. He's been in the right spot at the right time. Had an interception, a fumble recovery, or forced fumble, and he's coming up with some points or IDP points. But like last week, I believe he got a large amount of IDP production and snaps, and I think it was based mainly off of the fact that didn't New Orleans run away with that game against the Bengals in the second half?
Yeah, yep, they sure did.
Yeah, so it's kind of a false prophet. It is too early to actually depend on them. I mean, they're not going to quit Klein. There's no sign that they're going to quit Klein, and they're not going to quit Davis for sure as the every down linebackers. So I mean, yeah, it's like a throw at the dartboard. There might be somebody else. I'd soon go and get Oakaloon or Evans or something like that if they happen to be sitting on the wire over trusting that he's going to have a full-time role or a meaningful role in this game.
Cool. Let's see, where did my little screen go? Here we go. So Fantasy Pimpin' needs 2. Gathers,
Nice.
Benowicki, Derwin, or Harrison Smith.
I'd go Gathers and Derwin. What do you think, Gary?
Say one more time for me. My crap net went into effect.
Gathers, Benowicki, Derwin, or Harrison Smith.
Needs
Who in
to.
the hell is Benowicki? Is he a cornerback?
I have no idea. I'm just pretending like I didn't hear his
Ben
name.
Wikiri, Benwikere.
It has to be a cornerback. I'm sorry, folks. I don't do cornerbacks, and I've never heard of this kid unless he's like I have Harrison Smith is a must start no matter the matchup. He's having a good year, an upper year, and then
Derwin.
who was the other safety?
Derwin James and Clayton Geathers were the other two.
Oh man, that's kind of tough because I think I like Derwin James just a touch better than Geathers.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think it's a flip the coin to tell you the truth. I would think that your upside is probably going to be Geathers.
Okay, so we've agreed that Benowicki is not even involved in this. So
He's a Cardinals cornerback.
There you go. So between
don't trust cornerbacks.
right, so narrow it down to those three and go from there. I like Geathers a lot this week, and I always love Derwin James. Harrison Smith's a stud too, though. So I think you're okay with any of those three. Going 2 out of 3 there.
Yeah, the Chargers are. I mean, they're finding such good success using the defensive backs the way they have that, I mean, using Phillips in there as a linebacker, using James, using Adaya, all those guys are on the field more than the linebackers. So in this situation, I would think it's a very good possibility that we see even Derwin James even get more snaps if he hasn't been getting 100%. So, I mean, for that call, I don't think realistically out of the 3 that you could do wrong by inserting whoever you just felt comfortable with.
Alrighty. Phil Rutherford 1. Thoughts on Justin Evans, guys, with all the injuries at linebacker? We kind of covered that, but if you want to just start the Justin Evans.
He's not playing, right?
Is it?
Yeah, he's not playing.
Well, there's 2. You're getting the Evans for Cincy mixed up with the Evans for Tampa Bay. Justin Evans is the Tampa Bay free safety, and what's the Evans name that's a linebacker for Cincinnati?
Jordan Evans.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if it's
Jordan Evans, yes, play him. Play Jordan Evans. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So Justin Evans is out.
Right.
If that was the question.
Yeah. My stream just stopped fucking giving me the questions. What the shit?
All right, it's time for the song and dance.
Let's see. Eric Reed, Justin Evans, or Darius Taylor, IDP flex.
Well, Evans is out.
Right. I like it. So it was Taylor, and who's the first one?
Eric Reed.
Oh, Eric Reed. I like Reed's matchup a lot this week, but you got to go Taylor. I think there. It's It's safer with Taylor. I feel like better.
Yeah,
floor.
I would say. I mean, safer. Yeah, because you're going to have production by default.
Yeah, right.
They don't have a choice but to have him there, and he's going to be in the middle of all the shit.
Exactly. There's no one else. It has. Yeah, he has to do something. But
production by default means something.
Yeah.
In IDP.
Right. Sometimes you just got to go with it. But I do love Reed's matchup this week. The Lions are going to probably have to throw the majority of this game, and Reed will be all over the field.
Okay, we got an update. It is Jordan Evans. Apparently, everyone is mixing those 2 up.
Okay. Well, Jordan Evans.
That's cool. I got that on Twitter earlier today.
Yeah. Definitely play Jordan Evans with Brown and Vigil out. Sure. That's a nice matchup. And the other one's out.
Yep. No reason to shy away from it. Take advantage of those matchups for these guys when, like, production by default. Actually, Evans is not bad.
Yep. IDP Ranger is saying Burfict is active for Cincy.
Okay.
Doesn't change anything for me.
Yeah, no, it's perfect in Evans. There's still no Brown or Vigil. That should be okay.
That defensive scheme, they want to use 2 of those linebackers. 90% of the snap counts, it'll probably be Evans, and it's probably going to be Perfect, and Perfect's been the one that's been struggling. And, he's the one coming off of injury. So, yeah, there's no reason to shy away from Evans if you got him.
All right. That's all the questions I got. And
what about inactives? Anyone noteworthy?
I'm trying to get to them. It's
Okay.
hard to do both.
All right. I can
Ah.
check them if you want to input them.
I mean, I'm looking at them. They're still coming through, so we don't even have all of them. I mean, well, let's see. Bengals, we got Preston Brown, Nick Vigil. We already knew that. Baltimore is Tim Williams. Who the fuck is that? So nobody.
Defensive lineman.
That was a linebacker.
Huh.
Cowboys, Taco Charlton inactive. Sean Lee inactive. That's about it.
Did you see where Van Der Esch has been? He's actually made the Pro Bowl ballot for Dallas.
I'm not surprised. Did you see his week last week? Unreal.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I was plugging him as a play last week.
Jesus, 13 solo tackles. Unreal.
Not to cut you off there, Nate, but just to bring it up, there's a couple of offensive questions we took on last week.
Yeah.
I believe we hit them out of the fucking park.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually looked at that. We did pretty decent with those.
Hell yeah.
Falcons, no one relevant unless it updates. Buccaneers, Vinny Curry, Levante David, Justin Evans.
So Carl Nassib is not on there.
Do not see him on there unless they change
All right. Hey, if you guys are reaching, we all know what the Giants' offensive line, they're crap. And Eli spends a lot of fucking time on his back. And Nassib was questionable. He returned to practice Friday with a elbow brace. And if he's in there and you guys are reaching, I mean, I think that he is actually a good play. And I'll tell you what, I've wrote about it and I've talked about it in some shit. If you've got a spot on a deep bench, stash this guy. I have. Stash him because he has found second life in Tampa Bay. He is actually pretty fucking good at what he does as a rusher. He's not a contained type guy. He doesn't hold the end very well, but he is a really good rusher. And Vinny Curry has not been worth the fucking money that they paid him to go down to Tampa Bay. And he's hurt all the damn time. And there's an out on his contract come this summer. And if they decide to drop that, I think it's like $8 million a year. If they decide to drop that, we could see Nassib actually, step up a lot if they have the same coaching staff down there. And I mean, he's a nice little stash. But I want to suggest him if you're reaching and you need a bye week play, definitely give Nassib a look at the DL or DE position. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. It's just somebody I've been plugging a little bit. I'd like to get that out there.
Yeah. No. He was.
Yep. Sorry, I'm all over the place producing the show. I got to make sure that I'm getting it out to everyone out there.
That's why we pay you the big bucks, Nate.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. So let's talk Giants injuries here.
By the way, you still owe us for that sweatshirt you're wearing.
Giants have no one relevant inactive.
Okay.
Steelers, nobody. Jaguars, Martell Spite. I guess not really.
Nobody.
Yeah. Let's see. Texans, Zach Cunningham. That's it.
And so Dylan Cole's playing.
Well, he's not inactive.
Okay, so if Dylan Cole is in, because I was talking about him, and they can't quit putting Dylan Cole in when he's healthy in place of Zach Cunningham in the inside linebacker position on some downs. And what they actually preferred to do before Cole got hurt a while back was actually use him on the inside linebacker, use Cunningham as like an outside rusher in a lot of situations. It's kind of this messed up deal that they have going on. So I had Zach Cunningham. I was throwing red flags up on him anyways. But if he is out and you're looking for another deep guy, If you're desperate, that is. Cole's an option.
Cool. Redskins, Quentin Dunbar. He's a cornerback. Pernell McPhee, linebacker. I don't think anyone really relevant there. Titans, Will Compton, interior linebacker. That's it. I mean,
He's back up.
Yeah. Colts, Malik Hooker.
Talk about a disappointment.
Yeah.
I mean, as a Buckeye, I don't know what the hell happened, but excuse me, I thought I was going to cough. Pardon me. Sorry about that, folks. Anyways, yeah, he's just been I've seen a lot of decent picks come out on him, and then he got hurt, and he's just not producing in that deep field. I don't get it. He's not getting shit out there, even if Geathers is hurt or whatever. What's he had, like one relevant game the whole entire season?
Yeah, and he had that few weeks there where everyone was injured, literally everyone, and he had so much opportunity but didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, it's a I don't know what the hell I don't know if Leonard is just getting it all or what, but that definitely is mind-blowing.
All right, we got some more questions that popped up here. DTS 12, anything to see with Tyquan Lewis in an Indianapolis defensive end versus Tennessee this week?
I don't even know what I thought it was Hunt and Sheard.
Let's see. Let's pull up Sports Spider.
Yeah, I mean, even if I'm wondering what the snap count is, because I could have swore that Hunt and Sheard and Hunt both have fell off the map. Sorry, John.
No, that's all right. Yeah,
well,
Hunt's been bad lately. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the hell happened to him. I was trailing right behind you on him, back at the beginning of the season. I have no idea what the hell happened to him.
Yeah, apparently he's Tyquan Lewis is a second-round rookie, getting his start this week. Debut matchup to watch. Yeah, he's getting his debut this week. So, I mean, that's a gamble. This guy's never had an NFL snap.
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
Yeah, it's defensive line though. I mean, that's always a gamble.
Yeah.
I can tell you by my charts, the Colts have a solid matchup. But other than that, good luck.
DGS clarified here. T. Lewis equals rookie defensive end that got 72% of snaps last week, just activated off IR.
And how did he produce? I don't know this kid.
Is it Lewis?
Yeah, Lewis. Tyquan.
Yeah. Can't bullshit. I don't know him.
Okay, I got him. He did nothing last week. I don't see anything.
Yeah.
Tyquan Lewis, I see zero. Zeros across the board.
Who did they play last week?
Good question. Activated from IR, will debut Sunday against Jacksonville. So he didn't even play last week.
Oh, they played Jacksonville last week.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, my bad.
And he didn't get anything.
No, nothing. I've got zeros.
Yeah.
I see zeros.
Stash and hold, man. I wouldn't put him in there if you didn't have to. Go get Nassib.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing about IDP is, there are so many players and always moving parts that, we can't know every single person or every single rookie that comes out. So,
yeah, and I'm not going to pretend like I do. I don't.
There's no bullshit.
It is what it is.
Basically, just like you just went through the process, we figured out who he was, looked at his snap counts, looked at his last production, and there is nothing for us to sit here and say that he is going to be a viable play at the moment.
Yeah.
72% of the time on the field, and he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So that means he's probably getting, he can't shed his blocker. He can't, provide any pressure. Jacksonville's they're running a lot, right? So he, as a defensive end, he should be getting the running back going at him at some point. So even a moderately decent defensive end could shed his blocker and then fall on the running back for one tackle.
Yeah, it makes me wonder who in the hell, if he got those kind of snaps, who. I'm going to look this up. Go ahead. I'm going to go on if you got more. I just want to look something up.
IDP Ranger says Lewis had 1 assist, 2 solos, a pass defense, and a QB hit last week. So, are you looking at the right guy?
Yeah, Tyquan Lewis, right?
Yeah. Indianapolis?
Yep.
I don't know where.
Maybe Yahoo didn't.
Maybe they're not tracking his stats.
Yeah. Tyquan Lewis, number 94. Jacksonville. 0-0-0-0-0.
All right. I'm going to go to week 10 on the NFL schedule and just pull up the fucking NFL stats on his ass.
That's what I'm doing.
All right. Well, okay. Well, then I'll just let you do it.
Yeah. He's got 3 combined. So, yeah, 2 solos, 1 assist is what I've got here.
1 pass defense also.
Right. Well, it just didn't come up with that right away.
I don't think it changes my outlook. I know it's a solid. I mean, I guess if you have nobody else to put in, but I mean, I don't think my rule of thumb is I got to see at least 3 weeks in a row of something.
So Gary, you should know who this guy is. He's out of Ohio State. His senior year, sophomore year, played in 2015, had 31 solos through the whole season, and then just dropped off a cliff. 13.
Call me a bad Buckeye, but I don't know who the fuck he is.
Yeah, I mean,
whatever you want to fucking say, whatever you're insinuating.
Well, I'm just saying he, out of Ohio State, you might. But I don't blame you for not knowing who he is because he doesn't look like he was that good in college. So college is easier.
His last name wasn't Boza.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, IDP Rangers says he got the stats from Flea Flicker. So apparently Flea Flicker is tracking all these guys much better than Yahoo.
Yeah, I wouldn't play him in Yahoo. You might get nothing even if he does do something.
You know my opinion on Yahoo.
Yeah, Gary's not a Yahoo guy.
Man.
I can't leave Yahoo.
Gary is a fucking avoid Yahoo guy.
Yeah. Well, they've got 16 years worth of stats for me, so I can't leave.
Yeah, you lose all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, so let's go with another question here. Tony D 123. This guy's out of the Discord. Goodson or T.J. Watt?
Goodson or T.J. Watt?
I'm guessing BJ. Goodson?
Yeah, but BJ. And they've got Tampa. Yeah. Tampa doesn't run a lot anyway. But I can't trust T.J. Watt as far as I can throw him with no arms. Like he's sack dependent for points. That means you're gonna have nice weeks sometimes, but most of the time he'll have an assist and 1 solo tackle, and you'll be shit out of luck. Those are both terrible options, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Goodson, I know, had a really nice week when Ogletree was out, but Ogletree's back. I don't know. What do you think, Gary? What do the charts say in that scenario?
Well, I have Watt in as solid. So there's one thing that, and I'm finally fucking there. There's one thing I want to check, but I am pretty darn sure that Goodson only got, as soon as Ogletree entered the frame again, Goodson only got 50% of the snap counts.
Yeah, Goodson had a huge week last week because of those 2 picks. If you get rid of those, he only had, he still had 6 combined tackles, so that's not terrible.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, that is a tough one.
Yeah. I like Ogletree this week, but oh man, Goodson,
Yeah.
because we've seen him do this before, and then he's turned around. You know, I, this boils down to the fact. Okay, so you're looking at Texans, you're looking at J.J. Watt, and he runs what 90% of the snaps all the damn time. Or you got Goodson that might fluctuate from 50 to 60 to 70% of the snaps.
Oh, T.J. Watt, right?
Yeah.
It was yeah. So
Oh, TJ Watt.
yeah.
My bad.
Yep.
Well, there's that crap net.
That's all right.
Okay, let me look at him real quick. Against the Jaguars.
Yeah. How's Jacksonville's offensive line? If it's fairly terrible, then you might just roll the dice with TJ. Hope you get a big game out of him.
Yeah, Tony D says.
Give me Watt. Give me Watt. Give me Watt.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, Tony D says I got Edmonds, Warner, and Schobert on bye, so I don't have much options. So.
Yeah, no doubt.
TJ Watt I got him penciled in. That changed the whole game for me, fellas. I was thinking we was talking about his big brother.
Yeah.
But, give me Watt. He's got a strong, and he does play the majority of, if not all the snaps, so he put everything together for me there. Go TJ Watt this week.
Yeah, and hopefully he'll get you a couple of big plays, and you'll be sitting pretty.
Yep. All right, let's go through here. So an update on our long talk about Tyquan Lewis. DTS says he rolls in a 16-team, start 11 IDP, so he's got to dig deep.
Yeah, that's deep.
Yeah,
Cool.
we feel you. We all three of us are in a 32-man single copy league, and we start how many? Like 8 IDP, Gary?
Yeah,
something
see,
like that. 7.
Yeah,
maybe?
8.
Yep. Yeah.
So we definitely feel you there, DTS.
Yep.
And so that's all the questions.
So I pulled up just looking at it. I got a hold of the Colts snap counts from last week. You had Sheard with 76. You had Hunt with 67. They started. D. Autry, he got 68. And what was this kid's name?
Tyquan Lewis.
He did start, and he did get to 72%. That's interesting. See, as a defensive, that makes me, okay, so let's look at it this way. Maybe he is, weren't you guys saying that he was a defensive end?
Yeah, defensive end, defensive line. What?
It says Yahoo has him as a DT and a DE.
Okay, so that's where I'm confused. Hunt is a defensive tackle?
Hunt, yes. Usually he's.
Oh, that explains more to me then. I was thinking he was more of a defensive end. My bad. Just figuring this out. Just looking at it. Learning as I go.
Yep. Totally. So with that, if anyone out there has more questions, we would love to take them. We go through every single one, and we like to let them build up a little bit. So definitely, and I'm using my NPR All Things Considered voice right now. So we would really like to get some more questions, please.
Hey, even if there should be more, in my opinion, you probably have some questions about, like the rest of the season, who to look at going into the playoffs, who's got stronger matchups than others, or some people you could target to try to make trades for. We got a trade deadline coming up probably in 90% of the leagues or the sites next week, I believe. I know ESPN's is like next Tuesday or Wednesday is the trade deadline, the general one. So in standard leagues, or even you're just talking dynasty. We'll be more than happy to address those. We had a good time last week hitting on some of that stuff. And I guess if you want to put in some dirty offense.
Well, we do want to take a second and shout out to at F3 Pod. They put out a great live stream around 9 on Sundays where you can get your offensive questions taken care of. They are Tyler's a great guy. I had some fun poking at him today. He was trying out OBS for the first time. You see our lovely overlay and all that stuff. He caught it last week and really wanted to try it, and apparently this week just gave him all sorts of hell. So we definitely feel for that. We know what it's like. Just before this show even started today, I was about to throw my computer through the window.
Yes, he was.
Just dealing with issues that pop up. You'd be surprised, when we put together these shows and stuff. It might look like it's easy, but it's not, and it's a lot of work behind the scenes. So if you enjoy us, definitely check out at F3 Pod on Twitter. They have a great live stream on Sundays, and their show is good.
They're like our PG-13 cousin that does offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit. And it's not just a good show. It is fucking great content.
Yeah.
These fellas are actually, they know what the hell they're doing. So there's, that's who I go. Not to sound big-headed, if I needed some information, and I watched their lives, and if I needed something, that would be who I would go to. They're probably one of my top 3 guys that I trust for offensive information.
Absolutely. I send offensive questions their way all the time, and I listen to their podcast every week. So, yep.
I was on the phone with Tyler the other day, and he actually dropped his first swear in front of me. He said asshole.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was a big thing. It was a big thing.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I was like, really? I didn't even realize that was a swear word with my mouth. But
did he follow it up with, I'll cut you, man. I'll cut you. Tyler, we're making fun of you.
Yeah. I told him he needs to check out the show today. I figured I'd throw in a couple jabs. But Tony D from the Discord says, since all of his linebackers are on bye, he scooped up Nigel Bradham. How do you feel about him?
I feel fucking great about that. He's been incredible the last 5 weeks or so. He's playing 100% of snaps now. He's an absolute steal if you got him after his suspension. A lot of people forgot about him because he was suspended the first week or two, I think, this year. And I picked him up, and I picked Thomas Davis up. Both guys were suspended, and everyone forgot about them. And they've been killing it for me in these deeper leagues. So, yeah, I love that. Go with Bradham, definitely.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You just hit the lottery if you got that off the wire.
Yeah, definitely. Especially today against that Saints offense. Holy shit, man. Yeah, you're good. Yep.
It's going to be a lot. Yeah, speaking of the Eagles, I have had Jordan Hicks on my red flag list for like 2 years now because he couldn't stay healthy. He was only really good in coverage, and I really got to put a hands out to this dude this year because, he has been a complete fucking linebacker for them. Yeah. And if there is any reason that Bradham is not produced quite like he has the last couple of years, it's because Hicks is.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I actually had him. I had him right next to Darren Lee and some of these other guys that just struggled their second and third year and had them, put them up for sale. So whoever got to buy them, because I advised for people to sell them, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Right. I wasn't a big Hicks guy before this season either, and he's so far proved me wrong, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. That's crazy. It's just like he's turned into a different player.
Yeah. And for everyone out there, make sure that you're checking out our YouTube channel. We're kicking that off. We're going to have behind the scenes of our shows each week. And we're live streaming just like this. We're doing a live stream. It's mainly going to be for our Patreon supporters so that you can watch the show and everything and kind of ask us questions probably beforehand. If we get enough of them, we might have a segment in the show later on. But then afterwards, a couple days, we put that out. We have last week's show up there if you want to watch it. It's not cut like our regular show. It's literally just... It's everything. You get to see it all. All the chatting we do off air. There's 5-minute breaks in there where there's just nothing going on because we're out smoking cigarettes or whatever. But you can go through. You can see behind the scenes. We do a lot of good talk off air that sometimes we miss. recording. So, if you want to get that little extra content, a little extra stuff, check out our YouTube channel. And this is all very new to us. I'm learning as we go, and we're going to be providing what we can. Every new trinket, every new toy comes with its own issues. So
Lamar Jackson is starting for Baltimore.
yeah.
Is that new news, or is this?
No, I heard about that.
I mean, it was confirmed today, but yeah, I don't know if that changes things too much.
No. I'm just shocked. I looked up at I'm watching Fox right now, and I looked up and seen that shit. That's wild.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, they just had on there. Would you see where the Chiefs and Rams players, some of them refused to play in Mexico City?
Yep.
I would.
Yeah. It was Johnny and I were talking about that. We're really looking forward to that game. That's going to be amazing. Probably a good chance at a Super Bowl preview. And I'm glad that they're going to play it on a real field.
Yeah. Yep. Get the full effect. Yeah. Yeah, that was another issue. I did read that, yeah, they was having trouble anyways. See, are they refusing? No, wait a minute. Because I didn't have it turned up. Are they refusing because of the field conditions or refusing because it's Mexico City?
Field conditions.
See, I would do it for both.
So Tony D here with another question as we wind down. I scooped up Eddie Jackson in my Dynasty League. Are y'all big on him?
Who? Eddie Jackson, safety? Bears?
Yeah.
No, I'm not big on him. Gary, what
Yeah,
do you
he's
think?
matchup dependent.
Yeah.
He was one of the guys that I didn't use the futures type when I write articles. Now I call them futures. He was actually one that I pegged last year, and he did kind of come out of nowhere and become the free safety starter for Chicago. Good depth player, maybe per matchup. It's best you got. He's a good player, but when you've got Amos, whatever his name is, in front of him, and
Yep.
you got those linebackers and stuff, he's picking up scraps back here. It's got to be a perfect matchup for him.
Yeah, he's spotty, and you never know each week if it's going to be Amos or Jackson. You have no idea which
And
one
as
it's
we
gonna
know,
be. Yeah.
yep. And as we've talked all this past off season, I've heard Nate and John say it a million times, and I say it a million times. Consistency wins.
Mm-hmm.
Consistency wins.
Right. There are very few guys that are just semi-consistent, and I rely on the occasional massive game. The only one I can think of offhand is Buda Baker, because when he has a massive game, it'll win you your week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his consistency
It's still pretty
there.
good. Yeah, it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's it's like the IDP Bible. That's why unless you're in a super heavy sack heavy league, defensive linemen. Once you get if there's like the top 3 guys are gone, don't bother. Just look for. I mean, you can get somebody like Grady Jarrett way down in a draft that just consistently gets you 4 to 5 points a week. You can win on that instead of trying to get some low tier 2 defensive end that hits every 3rd week.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Consistency wins.
Yep.
Alrighty. So last call for questions. I think we're going to wind down here. It's 12:15 here on the East Coast, and I know I have lineups to set. I've just got notifications that I've got injured players in my lineup, so I want to get to that. Apparently, Ashawn Robinson. We didn't hit the Lions. I was waiting on the Lions inactives, so maybe we'll get that real quick.
Yeah. What do they say?
Yeah, Smack's in.
Let me.
I saw Snacks.
Questionable.
I saw Snacks as being okay, but
Okay, cool. Because I got him in too in our league.
All right, so Ashawn Robinson is out.
yeah.
And that I don't even know who Kelvin Shepard is, and I follow this team.
Okay.
Kelvin Shepard was a linebacker. Started with the Colts.
Gotcha.
Went to the Giants. He's back up. He's nobody.
Right. Well, that's why I'm saying I follow them pretty close, and I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
And then the Panthers is nobody. So that's it. Ashawn Robinson, pull him if you got him in your lineup.
Let me pick your guy's brain if we got a minute.
Yeah.
You got a minute.
All right, so I asked, going for two, Jeff Lambert or whatever. I got a question in for him because I seen he's a 49ers fan. I was watching his DFS show this morning, and you know who I'm talking about.
Yep.
I think they put out our IDP content. We put out their DFS. I think maybe.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Anyways, right. So, what do you guys think of Mullins?
The quarterback?
The quarterback, yeah, the guy for the Niners. You know, he had a good game against the Raiders, which that's not like surprising, but and then he kind of fell back to earth last week, but he still held his own. There's still positive shit coming out of the 49ers that Shanahan is keeping him as the starter for the rest of the season, as long as everything keeps developing with him. And I personally, like in our 32 team league, I picked him up as a flyer just to see what the hell happens with him next year. You know, what do you guys think? Think he can compete with for a starting job?
Against Jimmy G, who they paid a shit ton of money for? I don't know.
Yeah.
That seems like it's going to be Jimmy's job unless he gets injured again. Because he was good. Jimmy G was good before he went out, if I remember. Yeah. He was.
I think he had a few good games. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
And then you get him another. Let's see. He had the off season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you get him another off season work through. I like Jimmy Garoppolo more than Mullins, honestly. I think that for this year, Mullins is a good pickup if you are having quarterback problems.
Yeah. I'm just gonna stash him and see. I think.
Yeah, I don't know how's Dak doing for you, Gary.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Dak has picked it up the last couple of weeks, so
yeah.
I think he's going to finish the second half of the season stronger than he was at the beginning. That's for sure. They added Cooper, and they seem to kind of get a few things ironed out last week, you know. But the lack of a sufficient tight end has really hurt him. But I think overall, and another thing was that I noticed, it seemed like there was more of a purpose to run Zeke. And if they stick with that run Zeke, then it opens up more for Dak, and I think they kind of lost track of that.
Yeah. So we got an offensive question that came through. Tyler Boyd or Keenan Allen?
Oh, go ahead, John.
I mean, you'd think Boyd, but he's going to get, the majority. He's going to get the best corner. If they're super concerned, they'll roll coverage over onto him. Yeah, I mean, and I feel like Keenan Allen's been heating up a little bit lately. I'd go Allen, but what do you guys think?
Same thing.
Go Allen, yeah.
Yep.
Never said a stud, man. Never said a stud.
Yeah, right.
They're just saving. I think they're saving Allen. They haven't had to make him the go-to as much as they used to because the running game is working and all that. So, I mean, this is a divisional matchup. Boyd, I think Boyd can be shut down.
Yeah.
I don't think Allen can be completely shut down.
Yeah. Theo Riddick or Alex Collins? I'm assuming PPR.
Alex.
Yeah, I mean, first thought would be Collins, but I mean, all right, Nate, do you think Jim Bob there does something with Theo this week, uses him a little more in the receiving game because everyone's gone, Marvin Jones is gone, Tate is gone?
I know that they're trying to duplicate the production that Tate had, but they're spreading it around. I don't know. I mean, the problem is he uses Theo Riddick to run up the gut sometimes for random weird reasons, and so like I'm not really a fan. I like the team. I'm not really a fan of Theo Riddick. His passing, just he's a dump off. Like when shit's going, hitting the fan, like they toss it over to him, and then it's him trying to get whatever he can. And he's not Golden Tate. He can't, juke out a defender and get, an extra 10 yards. It's like if there's a defender within 5 feet of him, he falls down and gets tackled. So,
damn.
I mean, it's just I'm a little jaded with the Lions this year. It happens
Just
every year.
Wait a minute. Just this year?
No, it happens.
See, now you're paying for it. You want to bring up that I'm a Buckeye and I didn't know that goddamn lineman? Let's feel that Lions love.
Yeah. But so to me, I like Alex Collins more, and I am playing Alex Collins this week.
Yeah.
So that's.
I think what's that? What's the? A matter of fact, I might have put him in there. Played that FanDuel this morning. Oh, goddamn! What's the other running back? Allen?
Jadavius.
Yeah. I think I stuck him in as my flex, as my cheap play.
Yeah. I think that's a good play. I thought I heard some people talking about that being good in my circles. But, yeah, as far as Theo Riddick goes, he is unusable unless it's PPR just to get those points for him catching the ball, not necessarily getting the yards.
Yeah.
So, but with that, any last-minute stuff we want to go over? It's almost 12:30. We can kind of wrap it up if you guys are feeling like it.
I don't care.
Yep.
All right, so let's wrap this up. Make sure you're following us on Twitter at IDP guys. Gary here is at HBogart27. I'm at Nate Cheat, and John here is at OrangeMan3142. Make sure and check out our website. We got a lot of great content, idpguys.org. Also, if you like to help us out, you can buy a shirt. You can get Gary's Fantasy Football Bogart style shirt. We have the new hoodie. We got regular shirts, all that stuff, and the profits go back into the show to make it better. Also, if you want to donate more on a recurring schedule, patreon.com/IDP guys. We offer a lot of great perks and insight, extra stuff for those Patreon members. And subscribe to our podcast. You can go to idpguys.org. In the sidebar, there are multiple links for Google, Stitcher, and iTunes, as well as an RSS feed. Let's see. Oh, well, usually in the show I say make sure and check out our Sunday live streams, but make sure and check out our show on Tuesday. We put out an awesome podcast. This week we're going to have Sam and who else are we having in?
Tyler.
And Tyler Gee, actually, from the F3 pod. I forgot about that.
Nice.
So, yeah, we're going to have them on. And if you're a Patreon member, you'll be able to see the live stream, ask us questions. If you're not, then a couple days later, you'll get that access on YouTube. So definitely check out our YouTube channel. We don't have a vanity URL yet, so we need about 1,000 followers for that to happen. YouTube is definitely up their game as far as what they allow their subscribers or their content creators to do. It really kind of sucks, but so follow us there and catch our video streams. This one should actually be up too in a little while after we log off here. So thanks everyone for joining us. Catch us next week, same bat time, same bat channel. And with that, have a good day. Good luck, everyone.
Yep, good luck.
Good luck.
All right.